Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. It's a beautiful day in the west of Ireland. Birds are singing, the sky is blue, and for some unknown reason, on this St. Patrick's Day, it's dry, which is beautiful, because it means I get to spend time out in the garden. I'm not going out into the furore of the St. Patrick's Day parades. That's really not something that I enjoy. I prefer just to spend some quiet time here in the garden and enjoy that. Now here's the girls all saying good morning, and I'm going to go into the hen house and see if you girls have laid any eggs. So let me just turn this back a bit. Now, this is their little hen house, by the way. They have a little half door, lots of windows, and they have a little upstairs as well. Now, they normally lay their eggs upstairs, so we shall have a little look. This is me undoing the half door, and the girl's thinking, what's she coming in here for? I've come in to see if you've been busy, girls, and you're not slacking. So we'll have a little look. I've got to go up the little steps up to the top deck. Oh yes, look at that. Eggs. So we've got, that's 2 I've put in my pocket, 4, and 1 more, and a lovely feather as well. Now they've been up here sort of clearing back the straw, sort of cleaning up their house in a way, because what they do, they pull the straw back looking for little insects. And as you can see, look, when they have some spare time, they'll play a little bit of netball or basketball. Yeah, this is their little perch here, and you can see underneath their droppings, so they're pretty clean really. They do most of their droppings at night. Now, I'm looking down here and I see perhaps a little hole where little 4-legged friends are coming in. But I'll tell you something, yesterday I was in the barn just clearing out a little bit, and I thought, hang on, there's something in the corner of my eye there. Let me just switch hands. Got to do this up. Little bolt on there. And I looked down and there was a huge dead rat that Sammy Bear had obviously caught and finished off. There wasn't a mark on it. I don't know how he killed it. It must have been very quick. I hope it was quick, because I've nothing against rats. But when you have hens, you will have rodents around the place. But that's where having a cat is really good. So, and I'll show you, even with Sammy, who comes and sits patiently, sometimes for hours, outside the hen house. I'll show you just down there. Maybe you can see it behind the tyres. It's a little, sort of a little dugout hole. There's another one down there, and that's where the little mice, or sometimes the rats, like to have their home. Now, don't think that because you live in the city or the town or in a rather beautiful big house in the suburbs that you don't have any rats around. It's been proven that wherever humans live, they are never more than or less than 12 feet away from a rat, or a rat is never less than 12 feet away from them. And that's how it is. Especially so in cities. I lived in London for quite a few years, and yeah, you only have to be walking home from somewhere in the early hours of the morning to see lots of rats and foxes and little night animals. It's such a beautiful morning, it really is. It's very still. Now, shall I show you what's inside the polytunnel? Well, a lot of you know what's inside the polytunnel, but I have been working diligently and things are really taking shape, really taking off. We'll go ahead and have a little look. Okay. Now, remember I was telling you about all those leggy kale plants and stuff like that? Well, you can successfully transplant them. You can see now the little third leaves, fourth leaves are coming on there, look. And the red cabbage. Now, a lot happening in here. What I did yesterday, because I've been posting off seeds all over the world, as many of you know, so I decided to go through the big seed tins, because I try to keep all the seeds in tins, which is the proper place really to store seeds, cool and dry. And I came upon lots of peas which had fallen out of a bag into the bottom of the tin. So I took them all and decided to plant them. Oh, gosh, look at this. I haven't put a label on that. Anyway, look, this is a polystyrene fish box. Now, these are absolutely brilliant for sowing seeds in. They've got a wonderful depth to them. And of course, being polystyrene, okay, they're insulated. Now, if you put the box straight onto the earth, which has already been warmed, then you're going to have a certain amount of warmth going through into the soil. So I've planted that up with peas, rows of 6 seeds. I think I must have planted about 30 in there. And I've also planted quite a few seeds here. Again, I was just clearing out and decided to, you know, any seeds at the bottom of the tin. Now, normally I can identify them because I've got quite used to the seeds, you know. Oh, look at this. There's the nectarine tree. I gave that a really good prune, and now I think it's going to be fine for the rest of the summer, because last year there were too many nectarines on the tree, and I didn't have the heart to go taking off blossom and taking off nectarines. But this year I'm going to be a little bit more diligent about this task, because the nectarines that grow on this tree are absolutely beautiful. But I'm not going to let too many of them develop. I've put the cold frame in here, you can see. Two nice little seeds. The leeks are doing well, aren't they? Okay, let's close that down for a little while. I've also repotted the geraniums, or the pelargoniums, that's their proper name. These come up with lovely flowers, but as you know, there's nothing in those flowers for the bees. But I just like the traditional pelargonium on the windowsill of the Irish cottage. There's something iconic about that. So I've repotted them, given them a really good feed. See the rhubarb continuing to do well. These are all my little bay trees. They're little cuttings I took, and I've crowned the cuttings because I want to have those little bay ball plants. In these pots here, they're filled with bulbs, and bulbs which were being thrown out by a shop in town. They were just left over, they hadn't sold them, and I thought, well, I'll have them. So I'm expecting to see some nice flowers. That one there is beginning to look a little bit like Lily of the Valley. Have I put tags in them? No. But they're coming up. There's more of them there. And I've stuck little cuttings of lavender in hither and thither. There's a big pot of lavender cuttings. This is a good time of the year to take cuttings as well, I took some, I brought this home from town. There was some lovely rosemary growing outside of Tesco's. And I took this big cutting and I've put little miniature cuttings from that in pots. I can't even see the pots at the moment, but never mind. When they come up, you'll see them. Now this is the Jacob's Ladder. Look how well those plants are doing. Anyone who ordered the Jacob's Ladder seed, now it kind of ran out very quickly from my list, but sow the seeds. Don't be too precious about them because they are so incredible at just coming up in any situation. They're doing particularly well here because I have been a little bit precious and I have fed them, and so I'm looking to have swathes of Jacob's Ladder flowers which can grow to about 2 foot high over the course of the summer. We'll go on down here, have a little look. The rhubarb here on the end of this bed is doing well, and you can see, look, I've just stuck in kale plants here and there because I had a lot of kale plants left over. Now I did give away quite an amount of kale plants. This is my little compost area. Again, those of you who follow my website, my blog, know that I got rid of my flush toilet and I have installed a compost toilet. Now it's a very simple bin system, very, very simple to install, very clean, and I empty the bucket from the system each morning. It comes out here, it goes into these bins. The bins have holes drilled in the bottom of them so any excess fluid can escape. And after about, they say 2 years, okay, 2 years to make sure there's no pathogens. But usually a year to a year and a half, and I take the beautiful compost out of the bins. This is it here, look, okay, and you can see, because of course whatever is done in the toilet is covered with what I call shreddings, okay, and I can tell you now this smells quite sweet. There's no sign of insect life or anything in there because of course the insects and the worms etc. have done their job. This will be put around fruit bushes and trees and flowers. If you want to use it on vegetables, then you should wait the 2 years, okay, and that way then it's completely sterile. So there's something you weren't expecting to see on St. Patrick's Day. think Patrick would approve, because anyone who loves the earth finds it. Well, I find flush toilets and you know, sewage treatment plants very difficult to reconcile with what I would see as a healthy earth. We are the only species upon this earth that doesn't give back. Well, here at Bealtaine I give back, and you can see the health that's imbued with that. So just walk on a little bit further. I'm taking you on a little bit of an odyssey this morning, aren't I? I'm inspired. Oh, the bamboo. Look, can you see the bamboo over there? Well, I've had to hack that back a little bit because it had overtaken the path. Now I've given away clumps of this over the years because it's grown really well here. This is what I call the mother plant. So this was the only bamboo that was purchased, and I planted it here. And I personally have taken masses of cuttings from it and ensured that there's bamboo throughout the gardens. It's a great source of biomass, and it's also a great source of garden canes. And the birds will go in there as well at night. It's a great source of shelter for them. Look at those ribes, aren't they beautiful? Just move on through. You know, I'm still in my slippers and dressing gown. And Jack, come on. So, this, oh my word. I think I need to give this a little bit of a trim, don't I? Again, that's from the cutting. I'm trying to remember the name of this now. It is the cultivated form of St. John's wort. The wild St. John's wort I have here, and it's a tiny little plant. Tiny but very pretty. This is, oh, I can't think of the name of it now. It has a fancy name. But it comes out covered in beautiful yellow flowers. But it has got rather big. And it does need, it will probably benefit from a hard prune. I mean, most of what I have growing here seems to benefit from a really good cutback. That's what I love to see, the geranium. Now this is the actual geranium plant. I think this one is called Johnson's Blue. It comes up in beautiful flowers. We have it on either side here. Such a lovely morning. Such a beautiful day. Those lovely ribes. I'm so happy that the ribes flowers have opened for the bees. Because sometimes I vex about the bees, you know, that maybe there isn't enough here for them. But then everything begins to open. And I think, it's okay, Colette, you're doing all right. But plant some more. So I have the ribes planted in lots of different places. Now this beauty is fuchsia. Look at that. Beautiful little leaves coming out. Come on, focus. Okay. And the daffodils. And more fuchsia. goes that beautiful colour just as the little leaves are starting to come out. Gives it a lovely orangey, reddish glow. And the ribes behind it. Oh, doesn't that just lift your heart? And as I'm standing here by the front of the cottage, I can smell wood smoke because I lit the stove before I came out. Look at that. Is that an optimistic touch by Colette O'Neill or not? I've kept those little seats and benches out the whole winter, thinking, if the day's fine enough, I'll be sitting out there. Now, kitchen window. Can you see that? I've lit the candle. I've lit the candle for St. Patrick's Day. And I just want to send out St. Patrick's Day blessings to everybody. Bless you all. Especially bless those who are planting for the bees, who are taking care of the earth. And I know that you are happy because that's what makes people happy, to connect with Mother Earth. Hear those little birds? They're in connection with Mother Earth all the time. That's why they sing. The Great Mother. Happy St. Patrick's Day.